My first 2 days in real estate were some of the most anxiety-riddled days that I've had in my lifetime, and I've been through a lot. Today, I want to talk about two really important things: fear and rejection, and how you can use those two things to create the life that you want. My first 2 days in real estate were some of the most anxiety-riddled days that I've had in my lifetime, and I've been through a lot. The reason I felt anxious is because I started getting into my head. I started thinking about all the what if scenarios that could happen, all the rejection that could happen. Oh my God, all the checks that I was writing out and nothing coming back. What I realized, the reason I was feeling really anxious in those first 2 days is because I was not taking any action. I was just thinking about all these possibilities and scenarios that could happen. So if you're somebody who suffers from anxiety, you suffer from fear, it's because you're not taking action on something. And I'll tell you, the one thing that cured that immediately for me is when I focused on developing a plan that I had full control over. Something that I knew exactly what I needed to do every day activity-wise. Things that I could control, like the amount of calls that I made, the texts that I sent, the video messages. And by taking action, I noticed that my anxiety and my fear started going away. The rejections that I'd built in my head, guess what? Some of them would happen, but because I'd worked on my skills, I was able to start overcoming them. So if you're somebody who's sitting there and you're like, oh my God, things aren't happening for me, just know that it's because you're in your head and you're not taking action. That is one thing that I would tell you that will change everything for you. We have something called a reptilian brain. This has been programmed into us to stop us from being killed by predators, okay? Unfortunately, it's not very useful in today's society, in a modern society where really we don't have to worry about predators the way that we used to. That is just something in your head that's constantly looking to sabotage you. And the thing that I've learned to do is continually put it to what I call the science experiment. When I have a negative thought like, oh, don't do that, this could happen, I immediately tell myself, this is why I need to do it. I need to test that, do an experiment on it, actually do the thing that my brain's telling me not to. And what I realize is the more I do that, the less noise that voice has in my head, the less space it has, the more action oriented I become. And then all of a sudden my comfort zone starts growing. And things that used to scare me no longer scare me because I realized they were just irrational fears that were in my mind. Everything that you think of in your brain, you will believe. So if I put in my head that, oh my God, the world is like so negative and dark, all I'm gonna see is darkness everywhere. But if I program my mind to think there's so much love and so many good things in the world, all I'm going to see is love and things in the world. Because what you focus on, you manifest more of. Your brain is such a powerful tool. Understand that. Some little exercises that can help you reprogram your thoughts. If you're somebody that gets into those negative patterns, start writing out gratitudes. Write down things that you're grateful for every day. Every morning, start with programming your mind. Then write things about yourself that are really positive. I am strong, I am capable, I make things happen. I'm going to help people better than anybody else in my market because I prepare really well. I work hard for my clients and I always do the right thing. By writing good affirmations, you're programming your thoughts and your brain to think positively about you, which means you're gonna show up differently. When you constantly say negative things about yourself, like, oh, I don't look good, I don't feel good, I suck, I'm not good at something, you're actually reinforcing that. And that's the physiology that you're gonna start showing up to the world. So understand, your mind is the most powerful tool that you have. And if you can't master that, you'll never be able to master any part of your life whatsoever. A lot of the success that I've had is being able to work through these things and put systems and processes in play that allow me to put my mind in a peak state. That's one thing that'll help you overcome fear. Understand that courage always comes after you do something, never before. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm so scared to make that call, just do it. Just do the call. Feel the anxiety, feel the anxiousness, and just make the call. Because I promise you, as soon as you're done, you will feel better. And then make the next call and make the next one and just keep pushing forwards with action. Keep testing your mind and pushing it, and you'll start feeling like a superhero. You'll start feeling like you're the best version of yourself. Rejection. A lot of people think that rejection is a bad thing. Failure is a bad thing. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to fail. The reality of it is, the most successful people on planet Earth all face more rejection and have more failures than everybody else. That's why they're successful. You have to understand that. If you're the type of person that wants to get through life without failing, without having rejection, you're going to live a very limited life and you're not going to do anything exceptional, because the price to pay to have an exceptional life is setbacks, failures, and rejection. They all go hand in hand. So the next time you get rejected, I want you to say good. The next time you have a setback, say good. Something bad happened to you, good. All of these things are testing you to prepare you for the success that's coming. Just keep pushing forwards. Don't see failure as a bad thing. See it as a good thing. Embrace it. Take it on. I'll tell you, I've had some of the biggest setbacks in my life. There was a time in my life I was so broke, I was minus $80,000 in the hole. I had no idea how I was gonna pay my bills, and I had a third kid on the way. Trust me, that was a very low point, but instead of seeing that as a negative, I saw it as a springboard. Okay, this is my opportunity to burn the boats, create a plan, and go all in on myself. For the first time, I made the leap and became an entrepreneur.
Welcome back. This is Jason Simard with the Sims Real Estate Group.
And I was able to completely change my circumstances by embracing what have to a lot of people been failure, rejection, would have been a lot of setbacks. I was able to manifest that into growth. And I grew as a person for it because I pushed through it. And I look back on that and I have gratitude. How can I look back on something so negative with gratitude? Because it's turned out to be one of the most positive things that's ever happened to me. When I look back on that, I tell the universe, thank you, because it made me grow as a person. Had I not been for that adversity, I probably wouldn't be here today. That's the truth. And I can tell you, I've talked to hundreds of people who've had success in life, and this is a common theme with every one of them. They've had their failures, they've had their setbacks, and that is why they keep pushing forwards, because they know they're a step closer to what they want. Think about it. When you started walking, you probably had to fall a bunch of times. And then you kept getting back up, and eventually you were able to walk. It's the same thing for success in life. So embrace those failures, embrace that rejection. You're just a step closer to your goal.